Welcome to Intimacy Evolution, the podcast that helps you enjoy deeper connection and more intimacy in your relationships. I'm Brianna Carey, relationship and intimacy coach, and together with my husband Mark, a licensed professional counselor, we're here to help couples create the relationships they crave. Relationships evolve over time, and that's okay. Let's talk about it. Hello. I am excited for this episode. Kind of different than anything that we've done. I mean, we did it one other time, like almost a year and a half ago, when there was that Netflix series about like how to build a sex room or something.
Oh yeah,
do you
we
remember
talked
that
about
one?
that.
And we talked about that and how fun it was.
That was good.
Yeah. So we're not really reality TV people. We don't really watch them. But we did see this pop up on Hulu, and it's called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we were intrigued by the title, and we're like, what is this? And we don't do TikTok much either, so this was really foreign to us. And then as we watched the first episode, I had a very vague memory of somebody I knew that I used to work with. She lives in Utah, and like 2 years ago, I saw her say something like, not all Mormons are swinging or something like that. And I'm like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
It was this group of moms.
Yep. MomTok.
MomTok. And yeah, so we're going to give you a little recap in case you also have no idea what this group is and what the show is about. And then in true Mark and Bri fashion for the show, we're going to actually dissect a lot of things that we observed, things that we see as common challenges for couples and all the things. But yeah, let's get into the tea.
Okay.
I've never said that. That was fun.
All right. Well, I'll kind of let you have at it.
Okay. So the show is based on, I don't even know how many. There's like 6 or 8 of these women.
We'd have to sit here and count, but that's
I would
okay.
have to count. It'll come through. Anywho, there's this group of women in the Mormon community in Utah, and they became TikTok famous, and they call themselves MomTok. And their premise is that they want to support moms and empower women. And they talk about their religion a lot and how that all works within the Mormon community and the patriarchy, and primarily focused on men, and women are the supportive role and whatnot. And we'll get into this a little bit more, but they are raising babies together, and they were looking for community, and they get together and they do these silly dances and have fun.
Yeah.
And created MomTok, and they blew up. And then
Yeah.
kind of the leader, so to speak, Taylor Frankie Paul. She was like the originator with 2 other moms that were her best friends.
Okay.
Camille and Miranda, who are not in the show because it came out that this group started soft swinging.
Yeah. Having a little play party.
And whatnot. And y'all, we've been going down some rabbit holes this week to dive deeper into like what actually happened. And so Taylor was the only one on the show that was a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
The other moms had nothing to do with this portion.
Yeah.
But what happened is, because Taylor was associated with this side of MomTok, she went live when shit hit the fan and started basically confessing that this was happening, and it was putting a strain on her marriage. And all of the other moms that are on the show were like coming out and saying like, we're not a part of this. We didn't know about this. And so Taylor's life was basically imploding.
Yeah.
And so that happened. And that was completely separate from these women that are now on the show with her. But she was kind of the catalyst of the show.
Yeah.
And And the show is her basically trying to pick up the pieces of her life after that scandal and moving forward, and like, what is the future of MomTok and what does this look like for her now?
Well, and let's talk about some of the background with the swapping and the swinging and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
What had happened was it was these three couples, and feelings were starting to go around, and it kind of then secrets started happening, and I believe Taylor hooked up with another one of the husbands, like on the side without anyone knowing, and that
was against they're like one rule that they had.
One rule.
So she does say that they, this was an experience none of them have had before, so they didn't really know what kind of rules or boundaries to set in place, and they were just kind of like going through it and feeling through it. But the one rule was no hooking up behind closed doors without others knowing.
Yeah.
And so
she broke the rules.
And then that's when, again, feelings were getting had all over the place. And and then one of the things they said, though, is because like all of these couples getting married at such a young age, their spouse was the only person they'd ever had sexual experiences with. And so you can imagine being young, not having previous experiences that, again, if you start drinking alcohol and substances and stuff like that get involved, your decision-making skills go way down. And then, things like this can happen.
Definitely. When there's poor boundaries, there's excitation and newness and all these neurochemicals like hitting the brain at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a
recipe for disaster.
Yep, exactly.
So like we said, the show picks up with Taylor trying to start anew and integrating back into this group with MomTok in a new relationship.
Yes.
And trying to move forward. But there's some dynamics in this friend group that make it kind of messy.
Yeah, it gets very messy. And the group is it was brought together through MomTok and TikTok and making money together and producing this stuff together. And so like, how do you build true friendship when it's like there's this other piece, it's transactional at the same time it's not? Like, it gets really messy, and of course
makes for great TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so what emerges is Taylor and then another one of the moms, Whitney, they kind of
hit it against each other.
Yeah, and this is all the representation of the producers and everything else, so who knows what actually happened. They get to show what they want to and everything else, but yeah, they're like kind of fighting over the group on who's gonna take over the group, who's the leader, and there's a lot of infighting, and it's entertaining / we see the dynamics of all the different relationships. Some are similar to each other, some are different than one another, and so
yeah. So let's kind of like delve into some things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's let's go to relationship challenges that were outlined kind of in this show and that we see and some similarities. So let's talk about children. So most of these women were young. Were young when they had their first child. Yeah. Having children young, getting married young, and the amount of stress that navigating
a relationship,
a family, a relationship, having children. Shoot, I don't know what I would have done at 20, 18, 19, 20, 25.
Well, and the other common theme that as we started diving into this and seeing them was they all got pregnant out of wedlock.
A lot.
At least a majority. Yeah. I can't speak for all of them, but all the ones that I've seen so far got pregnant out of wedlock. And that is frowned upon in their church. And so then they motivated them to get married at such a young age, right? And we're going to do a deep dive into that a little bit later.
Yeah. So, again, having kids, getting pregnant without being married, the amount of shame and guilt and all the stuff that comes up.
You have to do the right thing. You have to be married. And I love it because one of the girls on there, Demi, said, like, what do you expect when we're all getting married and having kids before our brain is fully developed?
Yes.
And it's like, yes, that makes so much sense. And I remember like when we were dating, we started dating when we were 20. And I came from young parents, 18 and 20. And that was my perception of a relationship. And I wanted to have kids young. So by the time we'd been dating for a couple of years, 22-ish, I'm like, hey, like, are we ready to have kids? And you coming from a more traditional, established parents that had you, a little bit later in their later 20s, you're like, no, let's finish college and like get married and let's do these things first. And what?
Let's try to like establish our relationship solid and like learn things and
looking back,
be prepared.
It makes so much sense because like, woo, our relationship at 22, I can't imagine inviting a child into that. Not that it was bad, but we were just navigating a lot. You ended up going away to, to college 5 hours away. And then I would have had to move. And then we would have been living a college life with a baby and no family around. Or you wouldn't have gone to college. You would have had to come home.
Yeah. And these girls do have one aspect, at least where the show picks up, is they have a good financial income because of MomTok, which allows some of the stuff that we wouldn't have. Right. We wouldn't have been able to have a nanny or a house cleaner, which we presume that they have. It wasn't overtly said, but we saw people around that weren't family. And so they have some advantages we definitely wouldn't. Yeah. But at the same time, even with those support and
we're just young, So that's a common theme that we see a lot, just the impact of children on a relationship in general. Yeah. And then navigating that at a young age.
And part of it is like, hey, teaching abstinence doesn't work. It leads to more teen pregnancy.
This show was the best public service announcement for abstinence doesn't work.
Just like say no to drugs never actually work.
Yeah. Let's learn about our bodies. Let's learn how babies are made and how we can be safe and,
empower young people.
Empower them with the decision.
Yep. To be able to actually make the decision and not be blindsided if do now, that type of thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was one take. What's next?
Oh, well, so we could talk about the roles of community and religion. I think that's a big one in the show. Yeah,
for sure. There was definitely, the group was split. I think there's the 8 now that I think about it, because it was like 4 and 4. Yeah. And so the group was definitely split in 4 women that were more traditional Mormon, like, these are what we believe. This is what our religion says. And then there were 4 that were like, yes, and we can be empowered women.
Yeah.
A lot of them are the breadwinners, are the primary provider for their families because of MomTok. And so we can talk about the dynamics of the role reversals there and how that goes against the Mormon religion of the men as the provider and whatnot. And so there were 4 of them that were like, okay, yeah, we can, be true to our religion, and we can also enjoy being women, and we can provide for our family also, and we can live our lives in these ways and still be true to our beliefs. And so there was that.
Yeah. And so kind of the divide of the group, they call them at different episodes, saints and sinners. And the navigation of like, how does that work for their different relationships, and how do they navigate the more traditional roles of the more progressive in their community?
Yeah.
And I've seen this a lot working with people and couples who have a deep religious background. And when I say that, what I really mean is, for me, there's 2 different ways that spirituality or religion, great.
Yeah.
When it's used for control, to shame and guilt, to force people into this kind of
staying in a box.
Yeah, this really negative way. It can really injure people.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we don't know the backgrounds on how that was worked, as a whole. The more, I don't know how to say that, but I think for me, there are a lot of religions that have extremes and parts that aren't. Mm-hmm. And those, in the more extreme versions, there's a lot of, shame and guilt used to control and say, hey, this is how you get to where you want to go. This is how you live your life. This is how you don't. Mm-hmm. And to rework that is really hard.
Yeah. And again, still being at such a young age, navigating who you are, but then you can't really navigate who you are because you're in a relationship with children. And so I think that's another piece is these women don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And I think the other piece we saw were the ones that were kind of pushing the boundaries with the religion in being more progressive, I guess, were the older one.
Also the ones that
have had more experience.
Got married young, and most of them actually had already been divorced. Mm-hmm. And so they're on their second marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're coming from this like, hey, I've learned this and this is my wisdom. Mm-hmm. And divorce rates do increase the younger we have kids, the younger we get married, just because there's so many more variables.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that if you get young, it won't work.
Yeah.
Like it can. And, the divorce rates
the challenges are a lot more, like it's stacked against you a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably say that. I mean, like you said, is my brain developed? Do I know who I am? Mm-hmm. All these other things about myself.
Yep.
It really takes a lot to make a marriage work when those things are changing.
Yeah. And then when they contradict or challenge your beliefs that you've grown up with, one couple, Jen and Zach.
Yeah, we're going to get into the couples now.
Yeah. Okay. You want me?
Yeah, go ahead. Take it.
No, I was just going to say, Jen, so she's 24, Zach is 27, he's in medical school, and she's the provider.
Yeah. So we got a role reversal. But he wants a traditional family. He wants to live a traditional life because that was his upbringing. Also, he comes from a line of surgeons, his grandpa, his dad. So he's going to go to school to be a surgeon, but he does not support his wife being a part of MomTok. Yeah.
He hates it.
And in the show, he's portrayed and talked about many times as being controlling, of, bordering on some sort of narcissism, abusive, this type of thing. And, and I think it's a clash between what he's seen, what he grew up with, what he thinks he wants, and his insecurities. If he goes a different way, what could happen?
Yeah. I don't know. I literally had that thought at one point watching it. I was like, does he even want to go to medical school? Does he even want to be a surgeon? Like, what's his story here? Because there's just a lot of things that are like, he's not happy. Like, you can feel that. And a lot of times when people are unhappy, they lash out on their loved ones and project onto them, So is he really saying like, I don't want this life that I'm told that I want, or I think that I want?
Oh, that's a good point. Like, hey, maybe the pressure that he feels, he's maybe this, like, she has the freedom to do what she wants and be on MomTok, and if he doesn't, he feels like he's painted in this corner, like one by his family, possibly his religion, and everybody around him, all this stuff, and there's so much pressure on this guy.
Yeah.
And at the end, he gets into medical school far away, and he's like, I think this is best for us, and Jen kind of goes along with it, which is a pattern for her.
Yeah.
Is going along with it, and now she's going to be isolated.
Yeah. We
don't quite know because
it was literally
the series ended.
Yeah. They left it for a season 2 for sure.
Yes.
So sorry, spoiler alert if you have not seen it and want to.
Yeah. There's a lot more to watch than
for
that
sure.
But that relationship definitely gives an ick factor.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the women on there verbalize that very openly,
very strongly.
And again, we don't know how it was produced and what was shown, what wasn't shown. Right. Who knows? Yeah. Anything else about that relationship for you?
Not right now. No,
yeah.
I think that sums up their situation.
I think the last thing about that is
Jen definitely portrays a very strong, confident self. And so I think the other piece for the friends, the women, they were like, this is not Jen. And I think that's something that's very important to highlight is you see this person that when their partner is then involved and they are controlling and manipulative or how that depletes them.
Yes. I mean, it's very much Jen dims her own light, has to dim her light to make this relationship work.
Make her husband feel better.
Yes. And so that feels very apparent. And again, who knows, but
yeah,
that's the way it's portrayed.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Other relationships.
I really loved seeing Demi and Brett.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. They were just... So Demi is one of the older ones in the group as well.
And your favorite.
She is. She's my favorite because she's all about like being intentional and being empowered. And you can tell that she's just like really like she was not appreciated enough, in my opinion. Like
she's also a little bit of a shit starter, though. I mean, she says what she thinks, and
she has a strong personality, and you know, probably from her background and whatnot as well, as like I'm gonna speak my mind.
Yeah, she talked about being in a abusive relationship, right? The first relationship, was that her?
That was Macy.
Okay, not her.
But she was divorced.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I don't know quite the dynamics of that previous relationship, but Brett is older. There's a 16-year age gap between them. But it works.
It seems to work. It looks fun and enjoyable.
I think, they're very passionate about each other. And again, from what they showed, but you know, he's just very supportive of her, very trusting of her. And I think, again, just the maturity in a relationship and from experiences and stuff allows that relationship to appear to flourish a lot more.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have much to say about them as far as a relationship. That I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Well.
So that was like community and religion. We had some other notes.
We had age and experience, how big a thing that is.
Yeah.
Since we only have primarily one relationship that we see, romantic relationship, our parents, maybe if they get divorced, multiple, but we have a kind of a blueprint. It takes some time to witness other relationships to learn and develop what we want. And so, the learning curve is just bigger when you get together young.
Yeah. Well, and just like the impact we've talked about of community, other relationships and friendships and how those can greatly impact your relationship.
How do you mean?
Well, in this instance, you know, none of the girls like Zach don't want to even be in the same room with him.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then to be sitting here hearing your friends talk about your husband, your spouse, like they're saying it out of love for you, out of support for you, wanting to empower you to make a decision. And it can drive you away from your community. And while she didn't appear to have a choice, and I don't know, I don't want to say that, her choice was to be with her husband and support him in middle school in New York.
Yeah.
And then there was the Macy, Taylor, Dakota dynamic.
Yeah. So
Taylor, the originator of MomTok, coming into this has a new relationship with Dakota, who has kind of a sketchy past. He is a recovering addict, and
the way they got together was like
just chaotic, and
they were both kind of dating people or like doing stuff, and they weren't really committed, and then they were, and then so there's a lot of questions about who he is with, when, and was that infidelity or not, and
right, because were they dating and whatnot, and spoiler alert, she's pregnant
by him.
By Dakota, yeah. But her good friend Macy doesn't like him, doesn't trust him, and it appears at some points like interjects herself in their relationship and kind of stirs the pot a little bit.
Yeah.
And so again, if you don't have somebody supportive of you in your relationship, it can make things even more challenging.
Yeah, definitely.
And we saw that across the board.
Across the board. And it was always portrayed by many of the girls of like, I love you, I care about you, so I'm going to bring this conflict up. And it was, for me, it felt very like not grounded and not a solid. There was always hiding and secrets and behind each other's backs and stuff. And
there was a lot of like, well, if it was me, I would want to know. And, things like
lots
that.
Lots of shoulds, lots of pushing themselves on others and stuff like that. So that was very interesting. All the dynamics there.
And what could be done differently, right, is like, if you truly care and want to support your friend, maybe have this conversation with both of them.
Yep.
So that way there's no he said, she said, it's all coming out together. And so it's like, hey, I got this information and I wanted to present it to you guys so you can clear the air and have that conversation and whatever. And so again, being supportive of the whole relationship.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, having friends that are supportive of the relationship as well as you guys as individuals is so meaningful.
Yeah. Which also, if you're having these close friendships, then your partners can have friendships, hopefully at least good enough that they feel like they can be supported and go to them if they're having challenges and whatnot, because your partner should not be your only support.
Yeah.
You need to have.
Talk about a complicated dynamic, though, if you think about it. So if we have couples friends, I have a relationship with her, which is one dynamic. I have a relationship with you, which is another dynamic. I have a relationship with him. And then us as a couple have a relationship with them as a couple.
Yeah.
Us as a couple have a relationship with her. Us as a couple have a relationship with him. And they're all different. And I don't think people understand this. There are so many things happening that's what makes it so challenging to have great couples friends, is because one of these dynamics could be off because of something that has nothing to do with the people or something that has to do with one person. And so the point is over communicating and having open and honest conversations. Just go and acknowledging that there's a lot going on in relationships. And so especially when you put 8 people and 8 couples.
So now you have 16 people.
And all their families, dynamics, and they all have kids, and like, oh man.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah. So, other thing. Let's talk about other relationships.
Okay.
Who else?
Whitney and Connor.
Oh, Whitney and Connor. So Whitney definitely gets portrayed for me as kind of the bad guy, and she gets portrayed as like hypocritical in a number of ways, and maybe she is, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think I want to recognize this, that she probably has the most complicated, for me at least, relational dynamic of anybody in the show. I mean, that's hard to say though. Dakota and Taylor.
Yeah.
It's hot and cold.
Yeah.
But so Whitney and Connor, when Taylor went live on TikTok and said all this, they moved to Hawaii for like a month.
2 months.
2 months to get away, something like that.
Yeah.
And
like over the summer.
There was a lot that came out about like Connor possibly being on a dating website. They said dating app.
Your
yeah. Sorry.
Dating website.
App. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Match.com.
An app. Thank you. You're slightly younger than me, only by months, not by years. So hey, take the wins where you can get them, huh? So there's a lot of speculation on. They say Tinder, they say other things, but there's other things that point that he might have been on.
Supposedly, there was like a Reddit thread that some of the girls had seen.
Yep.
Claiming that Connor was on a dating app. And again, was it Tinder or was it Grindr? Because the messages or the posts on there were saying that there were pictures being sent. And we haven't been on any dating apps because we were already, those came out after we were together. Apparently one of the apps you can't send pictures in a private message and one you can. And so, and there's definitely like a feeling of like, is he straight?
Yeah. And there was other things of like Whitney saying he was confused, and that's
or one of the girls saying that he was confused. I thought I don't know.
Was it?
I don't know if it was Whitney. This is like the very first episode, so we're kind of like blending.
We'd have
here.
to go back. But anyways.
But anywho, there was a comment made of like him being confused, and it's like confused about being married, confused about
his
sexuality. Yeah. And so that would definitely be stressful.
Yeah, so now we have infidelity, which trust, commitment, all these issues, plus the possibility that what if he is gay and what are they actually going through, because we don't know that.
Yeah.
And he can't be because of religious backgrounds and beliefs and whatnot. And so the question is this a gay married man that has to portray this? And what does that look like? Because that definitely happens.
Yeah.
I've had clients and know people, and yeah, that's something that's very, very much happens.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I say it's
one of the most challenging.
One of the most complicated and challenging, also because we don't get very much insight on it.
Yeah. It was mentioned that first episode and then nothing else.
Yeah.
So.
And then they're always portrayed as like, they look like they get along really well and like they're really good friends.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Any more about Whitney?
No, I just, yeah, like you said, the way she's portrayed in it, definitely portrays her as the villain. You know, not self-aware, not taking accountability. And I think that's the thing that just really irritates me is in the conversations that are shown on the show, it's like she has no awareness of her role in these interactions and these conflicts, and she doesn't take accountability. And I think that's the part that just really like irritates me. Is not acknowledging and taking at least some ownership of your role in these things. Like it's always turned back and it's like, well, what about me? Like, why didn't you reach out to me? And then she does things that are a little bit dramatic, like leading groups and not showing up to special events, and then be like, well, you didn't text me and ask me why I didn't show up. And it's like,
yeah,
that's not my role. You decided not to come. You take the initiative and let me know why, or apologize, or make up an excuse and say, hey, so sorry, I can't make it. I'm sick. Like,
well,
whatever.
There's a big breakdown in communication oftentimes around her, and she blames it on everyone else.
Yeah. So I hope that, I just hope she can be happy. I hope she finds happiness and can be content with her life. And stop putting the blame on other people. Yeah.
Oh, so Taylor and Dakota.
Yeah, let's circle back to them.
Yes, let's circle back to that.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think?
I want to clarify. So something that is said in there and something I've seen in like comments and posts and stuff like that is how they're two broken people trying to, like, how can two broken people be together and make something work? And I don't like that. I don't like that phrasing. I see two very hurt people that are trying to navigate their experience the best they can. And I don't know why I'm starting to get emotional about these people. I don't know, but I'm like, I want to like champion their relationship, and like, I'm like, you guys can do it. Yeah, I guess that's what I see a lot with couples.
Oh.
Yeah, I see that challenge a lot with couples is to hurt people, whether that's from your upbringing, whether that's from past relationships. She partied and drank alcohol, and he had drug issues, and trying to overcome those things for yourself. And then how do you come together and have a healthy relationship, especially when you get pregnant and have that as a compounding factor? I guess this is the challenge that we see the most for couples is navigating personal experiences and your own perspectives.
Yeah.
And then that's where we see the breakdown in communication, because you each have your own viewpoint and experience. And when you're talking and having the same conversation over and over and over again without resolution, it's exhausting. And that's what we kept seeing in this. And it's like, where's the counseling? Like, where's the support in this to help you bridge? So Dakota Taylor, shameless plug, we have powerful partnership that can help you understand those communication breakdowns. But no, seriously, I really hope that they did get counseling and that they are. We've seen them on TikTok and stuff now, and it looks like they're still together. And but yeah, I hope that they're getting the help and support that they need to really like build a solid foundation to have a good future for them and their family.
Definitely. And so what comes up the most for me is with both of those, and especially Taylor, is just how young she feels.
Yeah.
And how much I just want to give her reassurance. And there's some scenes with her and her mom that feel like her mom's very critical, and it would be hard to have mom being that cold, and there's some dynamic issues there that,
and you can see why she shuts down, isn't able to open up with Dakota.
And so there's a lot there. And again, it's just like, hey, we have injuries to us, and how do we navigate relationships after that and with that? And yeah, I just wanted to give them both hugs.
Yeah.
Give them reassurance. And
like, this is tough right now, and you can get through it. If you both are willing and want to put in the effort, you can absolutely make this work. And you can see that. You can see that they, I mean, again, in the show, you can see that they care and they're wanting to move forward, but then they just keep kind of getting stuck with the same, like they're in a loop with the same situation, the same argument. So yeah, definitely there are moments where I'm like, yeah, I just want to give you a hug and tell you it's going to be okay.
Well, anybody else?
Those were kind of like the highlighted relationships for sure that really
felt that way. Some of the other relationships were shown some, but not very much.
Yeah.
And what's her name was getting she was having a divorce party because she was getting divorced,
Layla,
so.
she was so sweet. Again, so young. She's 22 and getting divorced and has 2 kids and
never had an orgasm before.
There's so much. And again, if you're not educated on your body and how things work and that it's okay to explore pleasure, and you think your only duties are to be there for your partner and to procreate. But yeah, she was super cute.
It's worth watching. It's worth observing. I personally saw how things could be different in our world, like being younger or having a different experience, getting pregnant at a different time. And so, yeah, there's a lot that I related to. There's a lot that related to kind of some of our work we do.
Yeah.
And there was a lot that was just dramatic and over the top. And of course, it makes it entertaining.
I also felt very old watching it. And I think the oldest one in the group was like 31. And I'm like,
except for what's his name?
Brett.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the girls.
Yeah.
The oldest girl was 31. I'm like, y'all are babies. You're babies. But yeah, definitely give it a watch if you don't have anything else and you're curious. They made it entertaining for sure. And
they did.
Oh my gosh, the soda thing is so funny to me. Yeah. They love their soda because they don't drink coffee. But then
alcohol.
Or alcohol. But they can go get ketamine treatments and Botox. So
tattoos and soda. Some are not actually.
Tattoos are not. Yeah, but soda, like they go to. Yeah, it's funny. Just some of the little quirks and things. But yeah, I think we summarized.
Yeah.
Shared our opinions pretty well. Did you have any other notes on there?
That's all the notes I had. I mean,
yeah.
Final notes. Overall, how'd you feel about the show?
I will watch season 2.
Yeah, they left it at a really good cliffhanger too.
Yeah, I went and followed, I think, most of the girls.
Nice. I did not, but you know what interestingly happened, because the show is so popular right now, I have got videos on my Instagram or my TikTok from almost everyone in the show that have naturally, organically came across.
Interesting or creepy?
Yeah, I mean, they're always watching and listening.
Know what we're consuming.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like I said, I've gone down the rabbit hole this week listening to all of that, or watching their TikToks, catching up on their life story and what's happening since. And it literally just came out last Sunday.
There's a lot that they don't talk about. Like a lot of the swinging stuff was not actually discussed on the show. So it was
brought up in the first episode because they're kind of like bringing everybody together post this scandal. And so they briefly talk about it, but it is, you definitely have to go look for it on TikTok to get the whole breakdown of who was involved, what happened. And like I said, it was only Taylor and then some of the original girls that are no longer a part of MomTok. So yeah, it was entertaining. Those are our highlights from it as far as like relationship wise, and that's like our thoughts and ideas. And all right, y'all. Thanks for listening, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.